Hey, YouTube family, and welcome to the Kevin Strong Show. Yes, it is official. We're at the first week of the small account challenge. I was able to make 2 trades on Thursday, so you're going to have to stick around to the end of the video to see whether or not those trades were positive or negative. So first of all, welcome. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Hit that like button if you are enjoying my content. But before, what I'm going to do, here's the agenda for the video. I'm going to go over some chart patterns. This is important. This is one of the basic steps that you can use to be able to identify when you should buy or when you should sell a particular stock. And then after that, we're going to transition over to my live account. I'm going to explain to you what I did on Thursday and whether or not the account ended up positive or negative for the day. But first of all, I've got to explain a small story to you. I went to the dentist on Wednesday, got my teeth cleaned. Had to give you your money's worth there. And the lady who normally cleans my teeth was not available, so they had this new person. And oh my God, it was such a horrible experience. You guys know when you go for your cleaning, they have that little device. It's plastic. It's like a fish hook that they put in your mouth for water. This chick, I felt like I was part of Delta Force and I was getting waterboarded. I mean, shit, water was going everywhere. It was all in my face. I was getting pissed. So you know how the homies and the homettes in the hood do. We kind of bite our teeth a little bit like we're eating something that's sour. Like, you better not do that shit again. So at that point in time, she says, well, are you okay, Mr. Strong? And I had to make a business decision. It's like, do you go ghetto? Because I was pissed. Or do you go with your Caucasian voice? You guys know the one I'm talking about. When Bob comes into the office, the owner, and you say, hey, good morning, Bob, to make sure that you don't get fired so you can get your check on Friday, payday. So I decided to go with the Bob move. But she says, well, are you okay, Kevin? I said, yes, just a little excess aqua. Go ahead and proceed with your cleaning. But I was thinking, man, oh, man, luckily she got me. If she would have got a sister from the hood, can you imagine what LaQuisha would have acted like? Oh, my God. She leaves the dentist's office and she goes to work, right? LaQuisha, what's wrong? Girl, that bitch tried to drown me when I was getting my teeth cleaned. Oh, no. Let's call Tyrone. We'll go ahead and do a drive-by on her ass, girl. Oh, no. Don't worry. It ain't that serious. But you know how I feel. I don't like water and shit splashing in my face. And some sisters, they get raw with it. Be like, well, you let Tyrone do that to you on his birthday. Well, that's an exception because he comes around and helps me fix my car and pay my note. So I will do it for him. But anyway, just a little humor. So if you're laughing, saying, oh my God, this guy is sick, good. Everybody needs a little good laugh on a Saturday. Smash that like button if I made you laugh. And if not, hey, it just wasn't your day to appreciate good humor content. So without further ado, we're going to slide over here and jump into these patterns. What do they mean? Let's start off with the ascending triangle. It starts to go up and it hits a point that it can't reach a higher level and it goes down. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And you start to see the top almost being symmetrically in line. The two long lines that form the tip of the triangle is the end point of the ascending triangle. So what normally happens, not always, is that when it gets close to the end where the 2 points meet and it starts to trend up, this is confirmation that the ascending triangle has formed and has officially, there's a breakout, which means it's going up. And that's why you see this line going up. Conversely, there's something called a symmetrical triangle that does the opposite. It starts up high and goes low. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But with a symmetrical triangle, as you can see here, the second peak is a little lower than the previous one. And when it gets close to the 2 points where the lines connect and it breaks out of that, this is an indication of confirmation of a symmetrical triangle. And it also means that it is going down, which would be an indication to either get out of the stock or if you have profits, to cash your chips in and wait for a better entry point. I'm not going to go over a lot of these other ones because I don't want you to get over inundated. I do want you to get some valuable information about how I trade and how I go about growing an account. This particular pattern is called a double bottom. Don't get excited for some of you males who are in Washington. This does not apply to you. This is a statistical chart pattern that basically says when you see two bottoms that are pretty much even, this is an indication that once it breaks its top line right here, that this is going to start to go up. An experienced trader will get into this trade much sooner. So anytime you see a big drawdown and you start to see it go up here, this is called a deep V. Typically, an experienced trader is going to get in right when this starts to trend up after a big pull down, after that big deep V is starting to reshape and move up. They're going to sell when it starts to roll over. They're going to wait for confirmation and say, oh, here's a double bottom right here. So right here, when you see the stock starting to go up, you already know that it's not going to go any lower because the double bottom is formed. But if you're not an experienced trader, you don't see that, or if you want to be a little bit more cautious, wait till the trend line is broken way up here and then enter your trade up here. Yes, you will forfeit a little bit of profit, but you probably need to exercise some caution and due diligence when you first start doing this, because if you get too greedy, the market will hand you a humble pie. Conversely, this is called a double top. So when you have two peaks that are pretty much at the same high point, the second peak will run out of gas because it can't get higher than the one before it. And that's also an indication that it's starting to roll over. Once again, an experienced trader will probably start to enter the trade right around here. But for your purposes, this is called a double top. I would recommend, once you are familiar with double tops and you start to see that this is not going to go any higher than the previous peak, just get out of the trade. Don't try to do what's called buying a put or pull up what's called a bear put spread, which is an option strategy. Very profitable, but once again, we're talking about swing trading, getting you understanding about swing trading. So what we're going to do at this point in time is to apply some of these charts to Apple and see if you can identify chart patterns and when to enter and exit a trade. So hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm trying to keep this really, really, really simple so you guys understand everything. And the Apple chart should be up. Okay, now I know this might look like Greek mythology to some of you. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, that should really, really help. Okay, so we're looking at the Apple chart here, and I'm going to scroll back down. So right here, see this buy signal? This is a bottom. This is a bottom. Don't worry about all the stuff that MACD and the RSI. We will get into that in lessons in the future. A bottom, it goes up. Here, here's a double bottom. If this thing wants to act right. See where my is, and it goes up. This bottom, it doesn't go any lower than that roughly. This is roughly at $174. This is like maybe 172, 173. You can see over here, this is a triple double bottom for lack of practical purposes. Let me make this a little bit smaller because this is important. I don't want to skip over that. So right here, here, here. And you see the candles going green. It goes up. It's going up. It's going up. Now moving over here, this is what's called an ascending wedge. It goes up and then it runs out of steam and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down. This white line we will get into a little bit later. Like I said, I do not want to overcomplicate this because some of you are seeing this stuff for the first time and have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. But as you can see here, there's some buy signals. Once again, there, and there. And each time it hit that bottom, it went up. Each time it hit that bottom, it went up. Each time it hit that bottom, it went up. This white line is my 10-day moving average, which in layman terms basically indicates the stock price over a 10-day period. So chances are when green candles are trading above this white line, you're in a good spot for trading, especially when you start talking about option trading, because that's when you're probably going to want to employ a bull put spread, that you're getting something tight to the 10-day moving average and is staying above the white line. That's about as complicated. I'm going to get it. Now we're going to transition over to the account and talk about whether or not I was profitable or not. Let's see here. Okay. So you should be able to see this pretty clear. So we're going to go over a couple things. See if I can get the transaction thing set up. Position. Okay. Here we go. All right. So this is a brand new account. I have several accounts with Fidelity. This is with Charles Schwab. TD Ameritrade was recently purchased by Charles Schwab. So look over here, the dates to the left. On March 22nd, I transferred $2,000 over to Charles Schwab. Normally, when you transfer money over to a brokerage account, it takes 3 to 5 business days to clear. So sometimes they will restrict and not allow you to trade until those funds have cleared. Make sense? Then on March 26th, 4 days later, I added another $2,000 to the account. Okay, that second $2,000 to bring the account to $4,000 has not cleared. So on Thursday, when I made some trades, I was basically only trading with $2,000. The other remaining $2,000 will not be available until April 1st. So as you can see here, the balance, right, as of the 29th, which was yesterday, because the market was closed on Friday, was $4,176.08. But remember, folks, the second $2,000, it was not available for me to trade on until Monday. So the $176 that I made on Thursday was out of $2,000. That's $176 divided into $2,000 is 8.8%. So that's almost a 9% return on my money in one day. 2 trades I made, one I sold, the other one I'm still holding. The first one was NVIDIA. It was an option trade. I got in and got out. And the second one is Netflix. As you see right here, there's a small profit right here. And I'll probably exit that Monday or Tuesday. So we will see what happens with this account as we go forward. So once again, to recap, what are my expectations for this challenge to myself? I'm going to start off with $4,000. I'm going to have to trade really aggressively. So there's a chance that I could blow up or lose all that money. If that happens, I'm going to refund it. This is live money. But what I want to be able to do is take a $3,000 or $4,000 account and in 120 days, turn it to like $30,000 and take you along the journey, because a lot of people on YouTube will blast small challenges and look at my account, but you don't really know that they dump a bunch of money in there. I wanted to start from ground zero to show you even from day one. On March 22nd, I transferred money over. On March 26th, 4 days later, I transferred another $2,000 over, and really take you from a cradle to close experience. The chart patterns that we discussed today is really good information to be able to identify, like I said, when to enter a trade and when to exit a trade. But I think learning how to swing trade is a great gateway into understanding options. And once you understand options, which is not easy, to be profitable, consistently and profitable, you can really significantly increase your digits and get a more profitable account. Trading is not easy. The system that I use does not require you to stare at the screen all day. It is also set up for you to have a 9 to 5. I do please excuse the thumbnail. I have not been to Thailand. If you're wondering who that lady was on the thumbnail, but just the thumbnail. Sidebar. So play along, follow along, ask questions. I'm going to put my business email address in the description. Speaking of Thailand, Greece is back on the list. They have a retirement visa, some other kind of visa programs where for 10 years you can get flat tax at 7%. And that was one of the reasons why I initially had taken it off my short list. But depending upon whether or not I hit some financial benchmarks this year, I'm thinking about taking a trip to Greece in maybe July or maybe December of this year. But Greece is back on my short list. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Kevin Strong Show. Last but not least, I want to say happy birthday to my sister. I do have a sister that's 2 years younger than me. And I told her, even though we grew up in separate households, she's probably the only woman that I know in my life that has never hurt me or disappointed me. So I sent her something special. She sent me, she called me, and obviously I wasn't available. It was like 4:30 in the morning my time, but just a bubbly, cheerful woman. And here's what she said briefly.
I don't remember much for the birthday present. That was so nice. That was really a surprise. I don't know if I can match that for your birthday, but really appreciate that. That was so nice. Thank you so very much. I don't remember what should you said. You
just a beautiful, beautiful woman. If I can meet somebody like my sister, man, as my mom used to say, I'd be happier than a punk in a penitentiary. But anyway, side note, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Kevin Strong Show. I'm going to give you more details about the account, how I'm trading, what was my decision as to why I entered the trade, and more importantly, take you along this real journey from week to week and impart knowledge about how to swing trade, how to identify stock patterns, so you will feel confident that you can grow a small account into big numbers. Once again, this is not financial advice for educational purposes only. Please hit the like button, comment, and share. And if you think somebody would benefit from learning from this journey, share the video. Have a happy holiday, and I'll see you in the next one.